little bit of a slog.
Well, I mean, you never know. That 23 strength is great to start, but for all we know, and in 10 levels, they might get up to a total of 30 strength. So we shall see what we have here. And we
Well,
do have the hurt spell and the sleep spell, which is nice to have too.
and we have an herb, we have some gold, and we have a key. So our runners will make our way out of the throne room and into the overworld to start this seed in earnest. And already a Magidrake, first enemy we see, should be easy to take out with that 23 strength, and it's going to be by brianwilliams42 for 12 experience points, taking him to level 2. What does he have? 13 additional power, 2 agility, and something else. I don't know. I was kind of blinded by that strength.
It was 0 MP and 0 hit points. Gotta love it.
Sorry for the lack of game audio. You should hear it now. My apologies. Alright, so DiabeetusThe2nd getting his level 2. Going to get the same level up since they are running with the same name build with strength and HP. And speaking of strength, another one.
1710 at level 3, but they do get the spell of Heal More. So, in the first 2 levels, they have gotten a grand total of 0 MP and 1 HP.
Alright. Taking on a wolf already, unlucky. Ran out of MP or else probably would have cast the sleep spell. But now that he knows the wolf is there, likely going to go back. Between the hurt and the high strength, wolves are a great target right now. Or you can just go after a Magidrake and get the next level that way.
Yep, that'll work just as well. And we do have Diabetes taking on a wolf here with the hurt spell. A couple of those should take care of it. 8 power, 17 response speed, 2 HP, and yet another Zonk 4 MP at level 4.
Alrighty, looks like we're going with the melee build for this seed. I'm sure that MP will come, but right now that strength is nice. And also, a little lackluster on the HP category as well, with 25 at level 4. Some of these seeds, we're seeing them start out with over 30, so that's unfortunate to see at this point.
Indeed, and we do have Diabetes getting to level 5 quickly. 8, 5, 4. Another Zonk, but the spell of Return. So in the first 4 levels, we have gotten a grand total of 0 MP. Empty Eye loves it. Brian Williams putting a skeleton to sleep, going to probably take care of it with a couple, well, it looks like he's just going to attack it. 2 attacks should take care of the skeleton, and down goes the skeleton. Diabetes taking out a Drakey. And our runners here are certainly taking advantage of the higher encounter rate here on the desert tiles. In theory, they are 1 out of 8. In reality, they're a little higher than 1 out of 8.
Alright, so we have incredible strength at level 5. Unfortunately, our runners seem to be blocked by a swamp to the north. They could get through it, but with only 1 heal more at their disposal, it's seems like a great time to stay here and kill wolves and drakemas for a little bit. Luckily, the wolves and drakemas are available right here. Looks like Tentacle Castle is right on the edge of the Zone 0, allowing our runners access to some of these later enemies that These early to mid-tier enemies that are great for those early levels.
Yeah, indeed. This is a really nice grind zone here. I wouldn't surprise me to see both of these runners go to, like, level 7 or 8 here. 11603, and a couple extra spells, I believe, repel and heal. So that should then allow our runners to at least do a little bit of exploration with the heal spell. Although their HP coming out of the swamp not going to be quite so high.
No, and without a Death Warp to refill their MP, not going to make full use of that heal spell. But now coming out with 11 MP, 3 heal spells at his disposal. I think brianwilliams42 might try a little bit of exploring. We'll see.
But we still have DiabeetusThe2nd taking on some of these wolves. These wolves, with this high agility, with the 61 agility, these wolves aren't doing too terribly much damage. And with the strength of 54, they're able to take out these wolves generally in 2 hits. So these wolves are still really nice grind targets here for our runners. And Diabetes taking full advantage of that. Brian Williams not getting quite so lucky with the encounter luck, seeing more skeletons and drakies, that kind of thing. But looks like going to take advantage of this wolf on screen here, while a wolf sends Diabetes back to the start.
Back to the start. One more wolf will give him level 7, and we'll see what that brings him. Right now, brianwilliams42 tried to go exploring up north, ran into a wolf. I imagine that he will curtail his adventure, and he might do the same and try to get level 7 closer to the castle. Oh, nope! He's continuing. And we have our first cave sighting. It appears to be Swamp South.
It is indeed Swamp South. 16 power, 5, 3, 4 at level 7. So strength is not a problem here in this seed. Sorry for interrupting myself, but what I was about to say is I don't think there's really much to the north of Swamp Cave. I'm wondering if this is just a very small Tantagel continent and everything else is through Swamp Cave. We'll see as the race goes on, but I don't think there's all that much on this first continent so far.
Perhaps not. Level 7 brought another incredible strength buff. And a little bit more MP as well. HP and MP obviously still lagging. Strength and agility are, this is something we are used to seeing much later on as we see the town of Cole on Brian Williams' side takes a look at the weapon and armor shop to see what's available, heading to the search tile and finds the Stones of Sunlight. So we have our first of 3 key items that we need to find to enter the currently unknown Charlock Castle. It could be... we haven't seen very much of this map, so it could be quite a ways away.
And we do have Brian Williams also picking up a copper sword and a leather armor, so he is not exploring the rest of Alefgard naked as a jaybird. And we do have Diabetes continuing his grind here on these really nice enemies just to the north of Tantagel Castle. These wolves and these skeletons are certainly, giving some Diabetes some really nice experience. He should be to level 8 in no time flat at this point.
Yeah, even with that low HP, the Spell of Heal will get you topped off real quick. And even though you're not damage breaking those wolves, you still are reducing the amount of damage they're doing quite significantly.
And Brian Williams using the spell of Sleep to take out a Magidrake, and getting some nice, I believe, 83 experience there. Encounters a Rogue Scorpion, cannot run away the first time. If he can get away the second time, he will be back in Cole to use an inn.
Oh my goodness, and level 8 was huge with, what was that, 15 HP? Still no MP, but at least the HP is up there so that your heal spell is a little bit more effective and you can go out there a little bit further. But 72 agility at level 8, that is just incredible.
Yeah, so, strength and agility, I believe Lorgon said it earlier that, congratulations, you're a monk. And that's pretty much what we have here. We have a really strong, really agile character, no HP, no MP.
But getting these early levels fast is very good because it allows our runners to level faster later on, if that makes sense. It's always hard to make up time, and when you are leveling this fast in the early game, you don't have much time to make up, as brianwilliams42 now finds the mountain cave. 5 chests available here. No spell of outside, so we may see a death warp, but if he finds a key, especially a death warp, I'll just say that. Finds a dragon scale for that 2 defense power.
Yep. And to further comment on what Lorgon said in chat, Lorgon loves the permatorch. Not only is permanent torch on, but scared metal slimes is also a flag that is checked, although at this point in time, it doesn't really matter. In fact, it didn't even matter at the start since they started with 20 plus strength. So the scared metal slime flag didn't really make much of a difference here.
Oh, and DiabeetusThe2nd running into the AK-47, sending him back. Level 9 already. Okay, I didn't miss the level up. Our tracker briefly showed level 9.
So we have found 1 cursed belt here in the cave, along with a fighter's ring, and we have sword. Oh man, they can really... Brian Williams can really do some damage now. Already with an attack power of 110.
And at level 8, that'll be 117. This is absolutely fantastic for our runners.
I mean, they're almost to strength levels where you can start considering, am I good to go to the Dragonlord? Well, but see, here's the problem. You kind of sort of can't, HP, MP, small issues with HP and MP.
That is correct. If you'll notice on DiabeetusThe2nd side, the agility is shown in green. That means that his agility is what we have determined to be a go mode to fight the Dragonlord. Orange means that it could be go mode if the other stats support, and as you can tell with all of them in white, they do not right now. But the strength will go orange in a couple of marks up, and at the rate they're leveling, it shouldn't be too much longer to see that. But the HP, you're looking for about 97, and MP with enough mana to have heal mores commiserate to the amount of swings you have to take on the Dragonlord 2 to take it down. So that's really the big balance right there.
Yeah, and we'll discuss that math as they get closer to getting to actually to the Dragonlord, but before they do that, they have to find the silver harp, they have to find the token, Diabeetus still has to find the stones, they have to find Erdrick's armor. They got to find a bunch of things first before they even get there. I mean, we're only 13 minutes in, and having these kind of levels is absolutely fantastic right now. It all started with the hurt and sleep spells right off the bat, and some really nice monsters right outside Cantajo Castle.
Yeah, aside from the health and mana, this seed has got pretty much everything you could ask for as a runner, as DiabeetusThe2nd picks up his Stones of Sunlight. Stones of Sunlight, as mentioned earlier, one of the 3 key items required to enter the Charlotte Castle. The other 2 being the token and the Staff of Rain. The Staff of Rain you get by trading in the silver harp at the shrine, where an old man thanks you for bringing him the harp and gives you that staff. With those, you go to the Rainbow Drop Cave, and the old man takes those key items and says, here is a rainbow drop allowing you to create the bridge into Charlotte Castle. I can't believe I'm talking about this 15 minutes in, but it just seems like the seed is going that fast.
Speaking of going fast, Diabeetus has seen what we know to be the mountain cave and is slowly making his way over there, is just being slightly distracted by this Magiwyvern. Going to try to take it out with his advanced strength. And we do have Brian Williams back in the mountain cave here after going through the swamp cave. Able to 2-shot wyverns wonderfully. Able to probably 1-shot this metal scorpion. Yep, done.
Oh, with 170 attack power, he's one-shotting a lot of stuff right now.
Or no, wait, he is in swamp. Brian Williams is in the Swamp Cave, and it looks like he wants more of those wyverns.
Absolutely. For those of you unaware, Swamp Cave and the top of Mountain Cave do share the same enemy set. So you will see the same groups of monsters in there. So if you see something you like in Mountain Cave, you'll find it in Swamp Cave as well.
Brian Williams one-shotting a Spectre, getting closer to level 9.
As DiabeetusThe2nd goes into Mountain Cave for himself, and will soon have his Erdrick Sword and be able to go through these enemies.
Well, if he can get there. I mean, it is depending on how you search things, but it is in that, pair of chests on the 2nd floor, so Diabetes has to get there first.
That is true, and there are green dragons, and with their low HP, that does pose quite an issue. Oh, shoot. I
was just going to say, but if they're 72 agility, they are a favorite to run from the green dragon. Don't tell that to Diabetes, though, right now.
No, and a lot of people are fond of saying that agility is just a number.
Indeed it is. And we do have Brian Williams going back to Cole to pick up... I thought I saw him pick up chainmail. Maybe I am mistaken. Oh, look, golems with baby breath. That's actually kind of nice, because the baby breath doesn't hit nearly as hard as their normal attacks do. Nice hit points on level 9 here. It was 0, a little bit of agility, double-digit hit points, and some MP in level 9, so not a bad level. They get some badly needed staying power.
We'll see how quickly DiabeetusThe2nd goes back to Mountain Cave. I imagine he will, because of the 5 chests available there. And was brianwilliams42 able to see what the 5th chest in Mountain Cave was?
He has not as of yet.
DiabeetusThe2nd walking back up to Cole. Going to refill and head on over. Still haven't seen very much of the map.
No, indeed we have not. Oh, and Magiwyvern wakes up and takes out DT2, sending him back to start.
We got Brian Williams42 back in Swamp Cave. Looks like he's decided that is the place to grind for a little bit. He doesn't quite have the HP to take out this green dragon, although he is thinking about it. He runs away.
Do have a Drakima kill, and I believe, Brian is just kind of looking to get to level 9 quick. He's only, 59 experience points away from level 9.
So that's 1 Wyvern. A Droll Magi is going to get it close, but not exactly.
Right. Droll Magi plus something will get him a level. Will get him the level.
And 1,000 gold. Was there a half plate available for purchase here?
I don't think so.
Could be just getting a large shield.
Oh, it was a half plate.
Nice. Okay. Alright, that's a pretty substantial increase in defense. 54 defense at level 8 is pretty huge. Your defense breaking most of the lower and mid-tier enemies. Not a Rogue Scorpion, but you're getting pretty close.
Yeah, the Rogue Scorpions aren't going to do that much damage at all. Oh, level 9, I didn't even notice. Level 9 does have the spell of Outside, which makes navigating the Swamp Cave all that much quicker.
Very much so. I wonder if our runners, they probably won't go take a look at the spike tile in Swamp Cave until they have a legitimate chance of killing whatever's on there. And with their low MP and not super high HP, not quite there yet. But once they do, I imagine they'll be taking a look at that and maybe grinding a little bit there, trying to get their MP up.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Especially considering how close Cole here is to Swamp North. I mean, if you got something grindable down there, that's an absolutely perfect way to do it.
Taking out a wizard at level 9. You love to see it, folks. Wizard being one of the Sharlock tier enemies that we will find when we make our final dive, possibly. At this point, with the agility that they have, with Erdrick's armor, even with just a large shield, they will be damage breaking the wizards, and if they keep repel up, won't even see them on the way down. But right now, they're relatively soft. They're throwing the baby breath out, which doesn't do a whole lot of damage, all things considered, and they should easily be able to 3-shot it as he does right now. He's just one wizard and then some other enemy away from level 10.
Meanwhile, we have DiabeetusThe2nd taking the long walk into Cole to, I would imagine, stock up on herbs. Because we do know torches are not required in this seed because they have the permanent torch option on.
That they do, and they certainly don't need them to throw at enemies for that, 6 to 9 damage for torches?
Yep. Back attack by the wizard, slightly annoying, but certainly doable. They do have the spell of Heal More, so all I gotta do, cast a Heal More, and Brian can probably two shots this wizard. Takes it out, gets to level 10. What do we have here at level 10? We have 5 more power, 6 more agility, 9 more hit points, and a whopping 1 more magic point.
And that 1 magic point does give him, I guess, 1 more heal of 2 heal mores and 2 heals. But in reality, it's not a whole lot. But what he does have is a lot of great enemies right in this area. Oh, blue dragons. Is this the first one we've seen?
This is the first blue dragon we've seen, and it looks like Brian Williams is going to try to take it out using TL2 strats by using Heal More every other turn and attacking every other turn. Should be able to take it out, probably 3 hits, and should be able to get that juicy 180 experience. Oh, cannot! But 1 more attack will take it out.
It's awesome. At this point, it's not going to take very much longer for them to get to that 2175 experience required for level 11. Taking out a Magiwyvern right now, hitting for 32. Just absolutely incredible. DiabeetusThe2nd still has not made it far enough into Mountain Cave to get his sword, and missing out on a lot of this action. He is still doing damage, but not quite as quickly as brianwilliams42.
Yeah, indeed. And it looks like Brian is just going to sit here, grind on these Magiwyverns and Wizards until, it looks like at least until level 11. Level 11 is not that far away. It's a total of 2125 experience. So, another 300, 250, and that'll be that. And we do have DiabeetusThe2nd also joining Brian at level 10, getting those modest increases in everything but MP, so we'll see what he does now.
Yeah, Lorgon mentioning in chat that neither runner seems to figure out the zone boundary or don't care. That is true. There is a zone boundary right there because we've seen more than 5 enemies. But given the quality of enemies on either side, not sure if they're really worried about that. They do have the spell of Repel to repel the lower enemies out, so not a big deal.
Yeah, I don't think they particularly care because they really haven't seen too much of a bum enemy here. They love to see all of these enemies except for the golem, but the golems are easy to run from. So, I mean, I don't think they really care where the zone boundary is. They'll pretty much kill anything that pops up at this point except for that golem.
Yeah, and with 80 agility, pretty much anything except for the Armor Knights and Red Dragons will be technically easy to run from. There's a lot of seeds that we we don't even come close to 80 agility at level 16, and here we are at level 10. Actually, level 11. 9 more power, 4 agility, 29 hit points, 28 MP. There you go. More than doubling your MP in one level. Our runners have to be thrilled.
Yeah, I think now it's time that, once our runners get to level 11, that's when you hit the gas pedal on this seed. You pretty much abandon a grind for now, and you just start exploring this map like crazy. You cast the spell of Repel, and you just go at this point. Now, the question is Brian Williams going to try to get to that 5th chest of the mountain cave? Or is he going to go to the swamp?
Checking the spike tile.
Checking the spike tile, yep. I wonder if he's going to do a impromptu, not an impromptu, but a preemptive princess rescue.
It almost makes sense given how small the first continent, we know how small it is. They're going to have to go to the second continent likely if there is a search spot. So it makes sense to save the princess now.
Wah, wah, wah. And saving the princess right now is not going to be possible because those armor knights have the spell of heal more, and they do not have stop spell. Nor do they have hurt more.
I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of glad there's something slowing our runners down even just a little bit. Both our runners are within just a couple hundred experience points of each other, despite DiabeetusThe2nd not having Urgic Sword to quite hit the gas as hard as brianwilliams42 has.
Well, DiabeetusThe2nd is just about to get to level 11 here. This Rogue Scorpion will get him level 11, and will get him those giant stat boosts that he's looking for.
Alright, there's your answer. brianwilliams42 is going back into Mountain Cave. Going to look for that 5th chest, see what's inside. I think he's probably hoping for a key at this point.
Yeah, a key, or, maybe there's the Erdrick's armor in here, maybe there's the token, or the harp, or, something.
Getting another cursed belt to sell for a cool 180 gold at whatever item shop he's able to stop at. For those of you just joining us and are unfamiliar with the randomizer, the cursed belts give you knowledge on how many of the overworld search tile, or correction, how many of the search tiles, one of which is in the overworld, are active in this seed. So we've seen, I believe, 1 cursed belt, so at least 1 is active. We saw that in coal.
And there is a magic key in the 5th chest. So Brian is immediately casting the spell of outside, immediately casting the spell of return, is going to fill up on keys in the back of Tantagel Castle. More than likely going to check out the treasury and check out what is underneath Tantagel.
Kind of surprised he didn't take a preemptive death warp to set up a gold grind, but we don't know if there's no silver shield available in coal, I believe, just the magic armor, so it probably doesn't make total sense to do that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. They've only seen the magic armor in coal. They haven't seen another town. They don't know where anything is in this seed. I completely agree. Outside, return, just put your foot on the gas and go.
DiabeetusThe2nd about to get his good news.
And we do have a tablet cave here underneath Tantagel Castle.
And with the spell of outside, it's not too much of a journey. Only have to go one way and then cast it to go outside. We have some fairy water.
Not exactly the best thing to find there, but now it looks like he's going to go in and out, probably refill his, nope, never mind, not refill his MP, and he's going to go immediately and check out the treasury, see if there's anything worthwhile here in the treasury. We have a cursed belt, okay, so we do know that there is another overworld item in play, be it in Hawksness or in the overworld search spot through the Catlin coordinates. And we have no gold.
So no gold grind is available in here because the 5 chests available in Tantagel, including the one in the tablet cave, none of them have gold.
All right, and Star Wyverns wake up with Dragonlord 2 breath, sending DiabeetusThe2nd back to start before he can get the magic key out of that 5th chest. Zarnax42 in chat asking how far behind is he on exploration? The answer is none. Both of our runners have the exact same amount of overworld exploration. They know where Cole is. They know where the mountain cave is. That's it.
I would say brianwilliams42 has a slight edge just because he got that key and he was able to see what was in the treasury in the tablet cave behind Tanagle. But honestly, that wasn't a whole lot of time. And DiabeetusThe2nd, I believe, got a little bit of a... Oh, nope, they are almost exactly the same amount of experience now.
Yep. And DiabeetusThe2nd is not going back into the cave to get that magic key. So, with a little bit of luck, this is going to be Rimmeldar here, and DiabeetusThe2nd is going to be right even with Brian Williams again.
It's hilarious that there is a town right here and has been so close this entire time.
And it's the town of Cantlin. So Brian Williams is going to be able to see if there are any coordinates here. Now, unfortunately, there's no gold grind available. So, if there's a silver shield here, that's, kind of just going to fall by the wayside. But right now, Diabetes is hoping for a large shield.
And all he has is chainmail as well, so even just half plate would help out significantly. So brianwilliams42 has found Cantlin. He's immediately going to go. He's going to go to the shop first, but then with his keys, he'll be able to get the coordinates, if available, for the overworld search spot that may be active. We do know that at least 2 of the 3 search tiles is active because we found 2 curse belts.
And we do know that Cole had the Stones of Sunlight. So let's see here. They may go and search. Oh, Jesus, they've tripped over this about 5 times.
Oh my goodness. 10 north, 5 west. That should be fairly simple for our runners to count. 10 north, 5 west. Yeah, they've walked over it a dozen times already.
All right, so what's it going to be? Is it going to be the harp? Is it going to be the token? Is it going to be the armor? Is it going to be a fairy flute? Is it going to be a death necklace? Find out in about 30 seconds.
Given that they've only found one of the key items so far, it makes sense for this to be one of the others. But you never know. Oh my goodness, I was wrong. Erdrick's armor. Incredible. So he's going to be able to explore much better now. Almost all of his stats are in go mode right now, and given his AP, he's not going to need that much more MP to get in go mode. So all they need to do is find their key items. He needs to find Hawksness, which DiabeetusThe2nd just did. I'm going to let you talk because it sounds like you want to say something.
What is this seed? What is this seed? What is this seed?
So
this is just insanity.
I rolled a 3-hour seed earlier today, and so now I roll a jet seed to kind of make up for it.
And we do have DiabeetusThe2nd checking out the trap tile here in Hawksness, and it is a Stone Man, which is absolutely killable with the spell of Sleep and Heal More. It looks like DT2 is going to take out this. Oh my god. 40, 50, 56 by Stone Man.
This is awesome. And he finds the death necklace.
That's necklace for his trouble. So we will have 3 curse belts in this seed.
So the question remains, where is the other 2 items? Garen's Grave and the back of Garenham and the Free Cave are pretty much all that's left at this point, right?
I think so. Yep.
But we haven't found the staff trading cave yet. We haven't found the jerk cave yet. So there's still a lot of exploration to do. Unfortunately, DiabeetusThe2nd did not go to that 5th chest in the mountain cave. Doesn't have the key, which is what he needs to get the coordinates, which are right next to Tanagle, to get the armor, which is what's allowing brianwilliams42 to just absolutely rocket over this map.
And somehow I missed that DiabeetusThe2nd got level 12, which gave them more strength and more HP, and yet no more MP. So really, it's very much looking like the limiting stat here is going to be MP. Do they have enough MP for enough heal mores to beat Dragonlord 2? Which is not often the case. I mean, usually we're waiting on strength or HP. we're going to be waiting on empty in this one.
Yes, we will. But if they get even just another 10 strength, that's incredible. I mean, you're looking at 9 swings in the Dragonlord, so you need 7 Healmores, assuming you can get down there with that many. That's not a lot of MP total. So they could go a little bit earlier than we think.
Well, it depends on what kind of stats they get at level, 13 or 14, or 15 or 16, or however high they go.
Yeah, I've spoken too soon a lot of this seed, so maybe I should just be quiet for about a few minutes.
We do have DiabeetusThe2nd finding another town, but is unable to get there. Looks like he's going to have to go up and around the long way.
And so far this map has seen not exactly linear, but not necessarily branching too much.
Yeah, I agree. That I would even go so far as to say it's a fairly linear map. I mean, they're very much being funneled the directions that they have to go, more or less.
I believe we just saw a crit for, what, 129?
Yeah, on a stone man. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Beta Strep with a highly amusing comment. Likely upon finding all plot stuff where they can swing at Sherlock and send it into low Earth orbit. I mean, at this point, yeah. I mean, they're going to be swinging big here. Yeah, I think this seed kind of is the polar opposite of the other race that is currently going on, because last I had checked about, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes ago, the other race were struggling to get stats. This is not so the case here. Stats are not really much of an issue here. Let's see what level 13 brings DiabeetusThe2nd. Brings 2 more power, and no agility, 7 more hit points, and look, 20 more MP. They're basically in go mode.
Basically. 138 AP. That's... Let me pull out my calculator. So that's roughly 11 to 12 swings, depending on how lucky you get on the Dragonlord. So 70 MP, because you will likely expend MP on the way down, it's not necessarily enough. However, one more level, one more heal more, 72 MP might be enough.
Yeah, and I don't think either one of our runners are by any means done getting levels yet. DiabeetusThe2nd does find the absolutely wonderful town of Breckenary, which is useless as usual.
Yes, as the Seawolf one likes to call it, it is the Breckenary of Breckenaries.
Breckenariest Breckenary that ever Breckenaried.
Although I imagine it is good for herbs and fairy waters. Not that they're going to need fairy waters for the Dragonlord 2 fight.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no. Golems have baby breath, which we knew, and he takes it out. Oh my goodness. That's what...
Brian Williams is giving absolutely zero cares about anything in this seed. He is just... he's basically a berserker. He sees enemy, he hits enemy, and he's just... I swear, no matter what it is, he's just holding A at this point, just attacking anything that moves.
Oh my goodness, and he's actually going to find the town that DiabeetusThe2nd saw earlier. Or has he walked in there yet and we just missed it?
I don't know what town that is, but I wonder if Brian was paying attention there, because the golems have heal more. No, doesn't care. Bye, golem.
If you're swinging for more than 25% of your health, you sometimes don't even need it. And he gets level 13. He sees that massive MP gain going straight to the town, which is Rimalder. So if DiabeetusThe2nd can get here, he will get his keys, and then he's going to be in... He's going to have the... He'll press the nitrous button. I'm not sure what kind of euphemism we're going to make right now. But, I mean, my goodness. Or is that an analogy?
Yeah, either way. And there's the third cursed belt. So Brian Williams now knows that all three search tiles have something on them, which he already knows. So, yay.
And DiabeetusThe2nd has found the Jerk Cave.
And earlier, Brian Williams did find the Staff of Rain trade-in cave. So it looks like, if I'm picturing this map right, they get to Cantlin, they go south and east, and then they come to a point, they come to a branch. You can go north or you can go south. And I believe it was the north branch that had the trade-in cave. Oh, excellent dodge by the Demon Knight.
Demon Knight's known for their dodginess. He bought keys in Cantlin, so I think he spent 180 to get the belt. Very nice.
Brian Williams just casting Repel, walking around. Both of our runners right now are just like, they're just running around the countryside as fast as they can, trying to find whatever they can as fast as they can.
And they don't even have Hurtmore yet. Usually Hurtmore is the limiting factor. That's when the seed opens wide up. Level 13, no Hurtmore, and they are just trucking along.
So unless I miss my guess, the Grave of Garen has to be in the back of Garenham.
Have we seen the Free Cave yet?
Oh, no, we haven't. That's right. Okay, good call. So we have not yet seen Free Stuff Cave.
But given the way the seed is gone, that wouldn't surprise me. See Garenham, see the 3 chests there, get the 5 chests in the grave, unless you find all the key items early enough, and then you just jet out of there, go trade everything in. DiabeetusThe2nd does have the knowledge of the Jerk. I don't believe brianwilliams42 does yet, but at this point, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're exploring 2 different ends of this continent here. Yeah, so I think Diabeetus, I don't think, is at the same end of the continent as Rimuldar is, and I don't think, well, obviously wherever Garenham is, it's not here. So as far as we can tell so far.
And unless the grave is in the overworld, there's only one chest that's not behind a door at this point that could have a key in it. So he either has to find Rimalder or or go back into the mountain cave, as both our runners find Garenham at the same time. The difference is brianwilliams42 is going to be able to go in the back, and DiabeetusThe2nd will not.
Yep, and that is, I mean, if there's one thing that has tipped this race in one direction, it is the fact that Diabeetus got killed on the way to getting that 5th chest in the grave and has not gone back for it. And there is the token.
So pays 180 gold for that Erdrick's token, which is not a bad trade, as DiabeetusThe2nd finds the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave, gets 559 gold for his trouble, and it is a vanilla Grave of Garen behind Garenham, and here we know will be the Silver Harp.
Yep, and we do know that Charlock is just north of Garenham, so this is going to be a relatively quick finishing seed once Brian Williams gets the harp.
And thank you, Ragai3745, for the raid. Welcome to this incredibly, very different than all the other seeds that we've had today, it seems like.
Yeah, this is a jetty of jet seeds. This is a blink and you miss it type seed.
And so level 14, 5625, so about 1,000 more experience for both of our runners. With all the golems that brianwilliams42 has been killing, I'm surprised he's not level 14 yet, but you know, once he's done with his exploring and searching for these items, he should easily get there. With this amount of AP, Hawksness doesn't seem like that bad of a grind. We find the Silver Harp, we find the last item. We'll see if he just outsides immediately and then just goes.
Jake Hooper and Chaz ask which search spots are done. They're all done. The coal search spot had the stones, the overworld search spot had the armor, and the Hawksness search spot had the death necklace. And Brian Williams is now booking it straight back to where he knows the trade-in cave to be. I think this is it right here. Yep.
I don't think he's seen the jerk cave yet. Maybe as fast as it's been going, you look at the other side of the screen for 3 seconds and you miss something. So you may have seen it, but I'm not sure if he has.
We do have level 14 here for DT2. 1 power, 1 speed, 0 hit point, 5 MP.
And that 5 MP may be enough. Again, we haven't been in Charlock. We haven't seen a lot of what the Axe Knights have to offer. Although the way that they've been plowing through golems and stone men and everything else makes me think that it probably won't be too terrible of a dive, especially with 84 agility.
Well, the one thing we haven't seen is red dragons.
No fun police sighting yet this seed.
Now, we don't know what the red dragons may have woken up with, but I have a hunch we're going to find out pretty darn soon because Brian Williams has now traded everything in to get the rainbow drop. And we do know that Charlock is just north of Garenham. So, I mean, with a fair bit of luck in RNG, Brian Williams 42 is definitely in that sub-hour possibility.
Absolutely. He's going to go straight there. He's going to make his first attempt. He's probably going to swing on his way down. He's 1,000 experience points behind DiabeetusThe2nd, but given that he's been focusing more on exploring, that's not surprising. He's going to catch up quite quickly. DiabeetusThe2nd still no Urdrick's armor, so he has no ability to heal as he's walking around, which means that he's spending a lot more time healing and a lot more time refilling his mana.
I think Brian Williams has temporarily kind of lost the way back to Garenham. I think he knows it's generally... There it is. And now we'll go north and should find Charlock right about now. It looks like he's either going to use the drop here or is going to go in and at least see what is in there.
Absolutely, and with the strength that he has, even without Hurtmore, and by the way, Hurtmore still not there at level 14, he's just going to be able to swing on his way down, and if he feels comfortable, he may continue. If he doesn't feel comfortable, which, given only 1 additional strength and not a huge amount of HP, or no more HP, he's probably going to go out and refill at least to get that 1 more heal more, especially now that we know the Fun Police are at least on the top level. That being said, didn't put up much of a fight, swinging incredibly hard.
Yeah, that just looks like they woke up with Punchmore and that's it. Jake Hooper asks, is there a town near Charlock? Yep. Garenham is 1 screen south. I mean, it's easily reachable. I mean, for everything we know, I absolutely positively agree with this grind spot. Hawksness is a ways away. We don't know what did the spike tile? The spike tile
Stoneman, I believe,
was a stone man, and that's not nearly as effective as I'd rather 3-shot a red dragon than 3-shot a stone man.
Absolutely. It's 40% more, 40, 60? It's a lot more experience points. Not much effort. The Stoneman and the Red Dragon are both hitting very hard. So even though the Red Dragon is hitting harder, I don't think it's enough to make a substantial difference between the two.
Now the question is going to be, is Brian Williams going to feel safe with 9 heal mores? Or is he going to want to go maybe to level 15 and try to get some more stats? I think that's basically the only question we have to answer here. And
what's the question he has to answer?
Finding Rimildar.
Finding Rimildar, getting his keys, going to check this chest, spend 2 keys worth to get a Curse Belt, and stay at the inn, probably immediately go back to Cantlin, possibly stop to Tanagal on the way, but I imagine he's going to go to Cantlin just because you're going to have to go back to Tanagal to start the search regardless. The search for the overworld search child, that is. As brianwilliams42 gets his slightly lackluster level 14, but, I mean, I say lackluster, it's... At some point you're going to have a bad level, right?
I think he just did a spit take on his stats. I think he was full well intending on going to level 15, and he's like, wait, can I actually do this at 14? And I think he's going to try, maybe.
You've got a town right here. At this point, you know it's a jet seat. As fast as he's been going, he still died once in Mountain Cave. He had very good exploration. He didn't go over very many places twice. So he's got to be feeling pretty good right now. But given how fast it is, he may be a little concerned that DiabeetusThe2nd is a little bit faster, and it may prompt him to go into Charlock right now with the stats kind of on the quasi-ass side.
Right, and I think, knowing, Brian Williams 42 knows that DiabeetusThe2nd is a high-end runner. That DT2 is a fantastic runner of this. So I'm thinking he's taking that into consideration. He's like, I gotta go.
Absolutely. I mean, we know that DiabeetusThe2nd didn't go back down to try to find the 5th chest again. He may think that DiabeetusThe2nd got it on the first try and has been 3 minutes ahead of him this entire run. And he is going down. Incredible run luck on the first level. Red Dragon's here. I mean, at this point, gets the back attack, but gets away on the first try. And runs right into another one.
Well, at 85 agility, I mean, I don't think he's 50% to run from the Red Dragons, but he's not far from it. So
it's 86, I think, or 90 for Red Dragons. It's a lot, but
it's either 86 or 90. Yeah.
And usually the coin flips go not in a runner's favor, but given this agility, maybe I should stop talking.
Well, this Red Dragon here, giving the Brian Williams the business. Oh, and he does get away. Uses his one heal that he knows he has in reserve, herbing up a couple of times, and he gets out of there.
We'll see how the next few Charlock zones are. Green Dragon's much easier to get away from.
Thank you, Beta. 86 is a 50% run from Armored Knights, and 90 is the 50% from Reds.
And Beta saying that probably should have been a death. Probably.
But if you feel as though you're behind, those are the chances you take if you feel as though you're behind. DiabeetusThe2nd taking out this Armored Knight here, closing in on level 15. Does a preemptive princess rescue.
Is he going to check Cantlin before he goes back to the castle? That's the question.
Nope.
Oh.
Oh, he's going to love the coordinates now.
Oh, he really is. Because remember what we were saying in the beginning about how small the first continent was and how the princess was a likely necessary thing. And then we found out later that no, absolutely not. But thou must not have to this time.
Brian Williams, as expected, ignoring the treasury and going straight to the spike tile. We'll see what's here on the spike tile. Oh, look, werewolves with stop spell.
I mean, aside from the red dragons, aside from the fun police, not much of a... Oh, and a slight speed bump on the way to the Dragonlord. Not sure if the Axe Knight is going to know exactly what happened. It all happened so fast.
Doesn't even herb up. Goes straight to DL1. Let's see what happens.
Probably saving his herbs for the fight. And gets the stop spell. That's absolutely incredible. So he got the jump, but it's a stop spell. So no damage there. Probably gonna... No, he's gonna continue attacking. He's just gonna keep going until he needs to use herbs to protect himself from the back attack.
And he's gonna try to get an opening double here. He's gonna try another one.
Another stop spell. Absolutely incredible.
And
this might be enough for an opening double.
And it looks like Diabetes is in the mountain cave again. Oh no.
Oh my goodness. Alright, so even though he's got such a high agility, he still has a low enough defense that he could be hit for 49, so he has to remember that. 115 hit point max is a lot. It's unlikely that he's going to have to make any gambles, but it's something to remember.
He's been getting some pretty good rolls here.
Yeah, with maximum damage of 19, a range of 9 to 19, has been doing pretty good. 13 followed by 11, not quite good. Over on the other side, DiabeetusThe2nd about to get his, what would have been good news, but is now almost bad news. Another 12 roll. Ooh.
Diabetes, probably a good thing we don't have his mic on, because he's probably, I would imagine he's probably saying a few choice words to seed at this point.
Especially when he finds out what it is.
And I would imagine at this point, Diabetes knows his fate. I would imagine. But seeing that key down there, he probably knows what the story of this seed is. Alright, so here we go. Brian Williams, can he take out Dragonlord with the next 2 hits? He's got one more hit. Got him.
Incredible. Break out your GGs in chat.
And Brian Williams will put up a sub 60 on this seed.
And brianwilliams42 has finished an official race time GG time of 59 minutes and 5 seconds. And DiabeetusThe2nd does have the immediate forfeit. Oh, just absolutely incredible run honestly for both of our runners, but brianwilliams42 was definitely in the driver's seat pretty much the entire time. I think might have our runners here in chat momentarily to interview them. And we do have brianwilliams42 with us. Might have a
Good game,
push-to-talk
Brian.
issue.
Nicely done.
Thank you. Yeah, that was yeah, we saw the miss menu on the Red Dragon. We all knew it was over there, but somehow it still turned out okay.
It did indeed. How did that you both played this seed like your hair was on fire. I mean, you guys just you hit the ground running, and you basically both of you never stopped.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that Diabetes forfeited at the end. I assumed it was super close. I had to risk it going for it on, what was it, 15 there. But yeah, that was a super jet seed. We never got hurt more. How about that? So that's something that's new for me.
Well, we do have Diabetes joining us here in the chat, but there was one seminal moment in this seed, and it was very early. Diabetes was diving the mountain cave, just like you did, Brian. And just like you did, Brian, Diabetes died before getting to the 5th chest. Brian went back down for the 5th chest. Diabetes didn't. There's the race.
Yeah, more or less. Well, or the first dip into the mountain cave about 15 minutes sooner that died on the first floor. So no sword, ground up another 2 levels, and then didn't full clear the mountain cave until I found keys in Remolder, which was 10,000 miles away.
Yeah, Remolder was really, really, really far. So every town that wasn't that, I was so glad I went back in for that key.
I will tell you, Brian, you said that you were like concerned it was close. I just got the armor and still am missing 2 quest items. So that'll give you a bit of an idea where I am.
Okay. Yeah, well, the key. I mean, without the key, you're going to walk the whole world and see all these things that are not what you want. You're going to get to Garenham. You're going to get to the grave, which has Harp behind the door. Yeah, just it's going to be rough because Remolder is probably the last place to get to on that map.
Yeah, but you guys had to have been excited, though, with the start. I mean, you had the hurt spell, you had a bunch of power, and you had the sleep spell, and you had that gorgeous zone right outside of Tantagel Castle. I can only imagine that you guys were, doing little spins in your chairs, especially seeing as some of these other seeds have gone. You guys must have been happy for the relatively straightforward start.
I think we're both waiting for the other person to answer. Diabetes, you want to go for it?
Sure, why not? Yeah, I would agree. I mean, to some degree, I mean, if anybody saw my race last week, it very much was a seed where grinding at the start seemed to be beneficial. Yeah, that zone was pretty nuts. Aside from the Dragey, everything else in zone 2 was pretty golden. And we had so much strength that it almost didn't need the hurt spell after like level 3 or 4. So that was awesome. I think one thing that set me back was I immediately ran into an armored knight the first time I tried to explore, and I think the second time as soon as I went east, and that stopped me and put me back in zone 0 for a while. So that definitely slowed things down. And then we already talked about the few deaths in the mountain cave and, having to seek keys elsewhere and then having to backtrack across the map. It's just one of those seeds, at least for me, and I know this wasn't the question, but this is one of those seeds where it just felt like every play I made somehow either didn't work or was wrong. I think the first 7 times I tried to run from a Star Wyvern, I failed with 80 plus agility. I made the preemptive princess rescue, and then the coordinates are 15 steps away when the first continent's like 5% of the map, so the odds of that are pretty non-existent. It was just one of those seeds. Felt good, and then went all kinds of wrong.
Brian, your thoughts?
I guess, that zone 0 was good. I was starting to get worried when I was one-shotting wolves that I was there too long. So I didn't really want to leave with no MP, really no HP. There was just nothing saying explore, except for the fact that I'm doing like 46 to a wolf and I have sleep. So, the Swamp Cave had a decent grind with wyverns, and then I found that spot outside of Coal with the wizards, and they were supposed to be rogue scorpions. I don't think I ever got any, but that was a good zone for a couple levels, and I was just waiting for some MP to go out with that heal more, and grinding and grinding and grinding. Was really hard to be patient sitting there, knowing how strong we were and how fast the seed was going to be because of it.
Yeah, that's always the challenge in these ones, because I mean, like Brian said, the thing that really pushes you to want to explore is the super high strength, but then you just don't have the sustainability. So as soon as you run into one enemy that's going to take a couple of punches or can punch you a few times, you're out of gas. Or you have to, walk more than 20 steps between towns, and you don't have anything left in the tank. It's very frustrating, but gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, indeed. This was one heck of a race, though. I mean, one heck of a seed. It was, super jetty, and it was just, I would think, mostly enjoyable to play. Unfortunately, there was the key thing with diabetes, but I mean, to me, these are the seeds I enjoy playing. You get some strength, and you can just go, and even though diabetes missed the key, I still think it was an enjoyable seed. It certainly is compared to some of the seeds that we've seen in this tournament. I don't know if either one of you have played one of the hellacious seeds we've seen, but this has got to be at least a welcome change for both of you to get what you've gotten.
I've been lucky so far. I've had reasonable seeds. This one was definitely unique, even of all the ones I've played. I see that Diabetes are 7,000 experience. I assume you just kind of killed everything you saw as you were exploring and didn't have to grind it all to get there. And that did make it fun to just every fight was pretty free. You only ran because golems had heal more, but everything else you just fought and won.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, outside the opening grind, and then, like I said, after I died in Mountain Cave, I don't remember if it was the first or the second time before I got it was the first time before I got the sword. I sat. You mentioned the zone outside of Coal. I think it was 2 different zones, is what it was. I think east, the line of Coal, east had wizards and such, but west had rose scorpions, drill magi, and something else, I think.
Oh yeah, I was getting those, and I was pretty sure it was 2 zones. I just didn't know which one I liked more.
Yeah, and that's something we actually talked about in the booth and in chat a little bit. It was definitely 2 different zones, and I think it was Lorgon that mentioned, do they know that it's 2 different zones, or do they not care? And given the wonderful enemies in both those zones, I pretty much went for they didn't care, because you could take pretty much anything in those zones except for, I think it was the golem that wasn't easy to take down where you guys were. And diabetes, because you didn't have the sword, you couldn't take out the blue dragon in the zone either. But everything else you could take easily.
Yeah, I think that's what pushed me to the west zone, because the west zone had green dragon was the 3rd enemy that I remember. I think the other stuff I was repelling. So the other zone with the gold and the blue was the non-starter without the sword.
Yeah, I could see that. I died I got the sword the first dive, and that zone became very free. Even the blues were a pretty good fight, so that probably helped. Yeah, I mean, once I had the sword, I'm sure it was just sort of like adding up time for fights I could take or take a little faster, even before I went in the second time and got the key.
If I may ask, where did we end up finding the harp and the token, since those were still missing for me? I assume Garenham in the grave.
Yeah, they're both there. You got the token on the top, and then you got the harp at the 4th chest down in Grave. But yeah, by then I knew it was one of those 2 chests or Freebie Cave, which ended up being even further afield up by Charlock. So yeah, I didn't check the 5th or Freebie.
Oh, trust me, I found Freebie Cave along with everything else. It was gold with nothing interesting.
Yeah. And then the bottom of the grave was nothing interesting, I would imagine.
Yeah, and I was like, there was a moment where I was like, okay, that Armored Knight has has heal more. I don't really want to fight that. I really hope we don't need chords. And then the chords are like 10, 5. Oh, well, I don't need any fancy counting tricks this week. That's an easy one.
All right. So do you two have any other further comments here for this seed before we go on to yet another race elsewhere? So Diabetes, we'll start with you. Anything else you'd like to add before we head on out of here?
No, I think I said pretty much all of it. It was a very interesting and very Jetty seed. You always like to have these kind of unique circumstances. Playing the same type of seed all the time gets a bit boring, but this was definitely one to throw in the blender, especially with level 16 hurt more. And it's like, I don't care. I didn't care that I didn't have hurt more. How often does that happen? But GG to Brian, obviously, got through very quickly. Anytime you sub our seed, you're doing something right, no matter what the stats are. And thanks as always, to Z and the rest of the Restream team and everybody for doing this. I know today was a super busy day, so thanks for that. Hopefully everybody enjoyed, and we'll see you next week.
Brian?
Yeah, all right. Thanks. Yeah, thanks to the crew as always. I'm sure you did a great job. I'll watch it back to be entertained by commentary and chat. And thanks to everyone who streamed and tracked. Yeah, GG Diabetes. I'm sure that there's going to be just like one or two of those lucky moments that worked out that I'll see. But I know I'll face you again soon, and I know it will be a challenge next time. So, yeah, thanks everyone, and have a good night.
Indeed. Well, let's thank our behind-the-scenes crew here. We did have Kickalas as the tracker, and we did have Elmore St. James as the restreamer, and also my commentary buddy. So thank you to Elmore for pulling double duty there. If you haven't, make sure you go follow our runners, brianwilliams42 and DiabeetusThe2nd. So we are headed over to Randomania 3, where we have quite the matchup going on. We have Lavkian versus Lord of the Synth. I couldn't remember if it was Archfield or Lord of the Synth, but we're going to Randomania 3, where Lavkian versus Lord of the Synth is currently 10 minutes into the race, and we get to go hear the dynamic duo of Angel FM and Ragai3745 calling this one. So, I will meet you everybody over at Randomania 3. Everybody, I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you next time.